Hi, grade 6. This is Teacher Diane, and I am now welcoming you to our math class. Let me now remind you of our class rules. Class, don't forget that you always have to be on time, on task, and ready to learn. You have to be kind and responsible. So if you don't want to say it face to face, don't say it online. Accomplish your tasks honestly. Never ever think of using a calculator, searching for answers online, or even copying the answers from other books because those are forms of cheating. Reach out to teacher for clarifications. If you have any questions or you just simply have something to clarify, you may ask Teacher Dai by sending a message or by simply commenting down on this post, and I will just reply to your comment. And of course, let us always have fun while learning. So these are the things that you have to prepare for our lesson for today. Get your math book, your paper, and pen. Is everything now ready? That's great. Let us now have a simple review of what we have discussed last meeting. Can you now recall what was it all about? Good recall. Our topic last meeting was about multiplication of fractions. And last time we talked about 4 topics under this one. The first one is multiplying a fraction by a whole number. Can you now recall how do we do that? Amazing. So we will just simply put 1 as our denominator in our whole number for us to be able to rename it to fraction. So after that, we may simply multiply them. Alright? And the next one is multiplying a mixed number by a whole number. So how do we do this? Wonderful. So we will just rename our mixed number to an improper fraction. And then when it comes to our whole number, just like the first one, we will put 1 as our denominator. And then after that, we will multiply them already. The third one is multiplying a mixed number by a fraction. So how do we do this? Very good. So just like the second one, we will rename our mixed number to an improper fraction. And then when it comes to our fraction, we will just simply copy it. And then after that, we may multiply them already. So the last one is mixed numbers. How do we multiply them? That's correct. Just like in our second and third ones, we will simply rename our mixed numbers to improper fractions. So do you have any questions or clarifications about this one? Is everything clear? That's good to hear. If that's the case, let us now proceed to our next topic. And let me introduce that topic through this game. And I call it 2 picks, 1 word. Are you familiar with 4 picks, 1 word? That's great. So same rules. The only difference is that here, I'm gonna show you 2 pictures only, and then you will identify that 1 word being illustrated in those 2 pictures. So of course, just like in the 4 picks, 1 word, there are set of jumbled letters. And then there are also number of columns that will make you identify the total number of letters that 1 word consists. Is everything clear? Are you now ready? That's great. Let us start with this first set of pictures. So there are 2 pictures and these are the jumbled letters. So based on the columns, there are 2, 4, 6, 8 letters. Alright, so what do you think is the word? Fraction. Very good. How about this one? What do you think is the word being illustrated in those two pictures? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8 letters. I think you found it easy. So the answer is multiply. That's correct. And for our last item, we have this one. It has 6 letters. So what do you think is the word being illustrated in those two pictures? That is cancel. Very good. So we have fraction, multiply, cancel. And our topic for today is about the cancellation method in multiplying fractions. Are you familiar with this one? Yes, I think so, because this one was part of your mathematics lessons when you were in lower grade levels, especially when you were in grade 5. So our purpose today is to nourish that learnings of yours. And here, we are gonna multiply fractions by cancellation. So we have two options, and the first option is this one. Kindly read. Thank you. So just like what you have read, we need to get first the common factor. So here is the first example. 3/6 times 4 12. So if we are going to multiply this set of fractions using our traditional way, this is how it goes. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 12 is 72, right? And then we need to simplify it. So let us start with 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 72 divided by 2 is 36. That's correct. Again, we will divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2, since they are both divisible by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. Very good. Are they both divisible by 2? No, but they are divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. Are we done? Yes, we are. Because we can no longer simplify this fraction since we got one already. So 3/6 of 4/12 is 1/6. So this is the traditional way. So instead of going through this long procedure, we may use our cancellation method. And that cancellation method in multiplying fractions make our procedure simpler and easier, all right? So how do we do that? Just like the first option, we have to find the common factor. And when we say factors, those are, that's correct, the numbers that we multiply for us to get the product. So anything above can be canceled out with anything below. So our numerators here are 3 and 4, and our denominators are 6 and 12. So 3 and 6 have common factors. Yes, they have. They are both divisible by 3. So we will divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 6 divided by 3 is what? 2. That's correct. So let us now proceed to the next one. 4 and 12. Do they have common factors? Yes, they have. We can both divide by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So after this, we may multiply them already. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6. So as you can see, we just got the same answer. So instead of going through that long procedure, we may use this cancellation method. So this one is much simpler. So here is another example. 2/5 times 10. So again, how do we multiply a fraction by a whole number? Very good. We will just simply put 1 as our denominator so that we can rename our whole number to a fraction. So here, we are going to use our cancellation method. So, is there a common factor between 2 and 5? None, right? How about 2 and 1? None. How about 5 and 10? Yes, there are. They are both divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. Alright? So in this case, meron pa ba tayong pwedeng i-cancel? No, kasi lahat na sila ay prime numbers. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 1 is 1. So we can simplify this one by simply canceling the denominator since it is 1. So our answer is a whole number, and that is 4. 2/5 of 10 is 4. Did you get it? Alright. So for our option B, here is how it goes. Can you read it? Thank you. So we are gonna look for the prime numbers that when we multiply, we will get that number. So those are prime numbers. When we say prime numbers, yeah, they are the numbers with 2 factors only, and that is number 1 and the number itself. So here is our example, and this one is just the same set of fractions that we solved in our option A. Alright, so 3/6 times 4/12. So we have to look for the prime factors. So what are the prime factors of 3? 1 times 3. That's correct. How about 6? 2 times 3. And then 4/12. What are the prime factors of 4? We have 2 times 2. And then the prime factors of 12 are 3 times 2 times 2. In this case, we cannot put 3 times 4 because 4 is not a prime number. So don't forget that all we have to do is to look for the prime factors. Alright? So here, if there is a common factor between anything above and anything below, we may cancel those. So is there 1? No, there is not. How about 3? Yes. So we may cancel this 3 with other 3 below. We have 1, 2 here, so 1, 2 here. Another 2 and 2. Alright? Kung ilan yung number na nasa taas, yun lang din yung pag-cancel sa baba. Just like this one. We only have 1, 3, right? So, isang 3 lang yung pwede nating i-cancel sa baba. Dito naman, we have 2 2s. Dalawa yung 2, so dalawa lang yung 2 na pwede nating i-cancel. Hindi natin pwedeng isama yung iba. So, since na-cancel na natin sila, ang i-multiply na lang natin ay yung natira. So, 1. Wala nang natira, so 1 na lang siya. We will just copy it. And then here we got 2 left. So 3 times 2 is 6. So we got the same answer, and that is 1, 6. Another example. 2/5 times 10. So again, we will just simply put 1 as our denominator to rename our whole number. So we will look for the prime numbers. And the prime factors of 2 are 1 and 2. How about 5? 1 and 5. And then 10, 1. So, the prime factors of 10 are 2 times 5. So, 2 and 5. And then, we will just copy 1. Or we may put 1 times 1. They are just the same. So, kung ano yung meron sa taas, nakaparehas nung nasa baba, we may cancel that. So, meron bang 1? Yes, meron. Merong 2? Wala. Another 2? Wala sa baba. Pero merong 5. Katulad nung nasa baba, so we may cancel it. So, 2 times 2 is 4. And then, we will just copy 1. So, we may simplify this by simply canceling our denominator since it is 1. So, our final answer is a whole number and that is 4. So, just like our example in our option A. So, here I have another example. 2 and 1/4 times of 5 and 1/3. So, as you can see, here are mixed numbers. So, in multiplying mixed numbers, we rename them to improper fractions. So to rename them to improper fraction, just simply multiply the denominator by the whole number and then add the numerator. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 will get 9. And of course, for our denominator, we will just copy that. So that is 4. And then the second mixed number will be 3 times 5, 15 plus 1, 16. And then copy the denominator and that is 3. So let us use the cancellation method here. So let us use the option B, wherein we are gonna look for the prime numbers or prime factors of the numbers. So 9, what are the prime factors of 9? 3 and 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. How about 4? 2 times 2. 16. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 will get 16. And then 3 is 1 times 3. Alright. So, are there common prime numbers between the numerators and the denominators? Yes. So, merong 3? Yes, meron. Isa. Meron pang 3? Wala na. Merong 2? Yes, cancel. Another 2? Cancel. Meron pang 2? Wala na. And then other 2? Wala na ulit. So, we will multiply the numbers left. So, we have 3, 2, 2. So, 3 times 2 is 6 times 2, well, here, we got 1 left. So, we will just simply copy it. And then, we may simplify our fraction by simply canceling the denominator since it is only 1. So, our final answer will be a whole number and that is 12. So, again, 2 and 1/4 of 5 and 1/3 is 12. Did you get it? Any questions? Clarifications? That's good to hear. Let us now practice. Go and get your papers and pen. So here, all you have to do is to write the factors on your paper and then solve for the product. Don't forget that you have to use the cancellation method. So we may choose between the two options. The first option is where you will look for the common denominator or the common factor. And then the option B is where you will look for the prime numbers or prime factors, and then just cancel the common between the numerators and the denominators. So are you now ready? And that's great. Here is the first item, and I'll give you 1 minute to solve it. 2/4 of 4/10. So your timer starts now. Do not forget that you have to use the cancellation method. It is your choice. If you think the option A is easier for you, you may use it. If you think that the option B is much easier for you, you may use it. You will just get the same answer. "30 seconds. "15. "5. Time's up. What is your answer? Alright, let us check if your answer is correct. Which option did you use? Alright, here let us use the option A. So, meron po bang common factor ang 2 and 4? Yes, they are both divisible by 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So, meron po bang common factor ang 4 and 10? Yes, both are divisible by 2. So, 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 10 divided by 2 is 5. May pwede pa po ba tayo i-cancel? Meron. And that is the 2 in our numerator and the other 2 in our denominator. So we may cancel those. Since they are both divisible by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then this one is also 1. We may simply cancel those. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 5 is 5. Did you get 1/5 as your answer? Very good. So don't forget na yung numerator dito, pwede siya sa denominator sa kabilang fraction and pwede rin sa denominator niya. Alright? And then same goes here. Pwede siya dito sa denominator ng other fraction, pwede siya dito sa denominator ng fraction niya. So, basta nasa taas siya, pwede siyang i-cancel sa kahit na anong nasa baba. Bawal lang yung taas sa taas, baba sa baba. Dapat taas, ika-cancel dun sa nasa baba. Ha? Don't forget. So, another item for your practice. And here is your minute. Here is a fraction and a whole number. Don't forget to rename the whole number first. "30 seconds. "15. 5. Time's up. What is your answer? Let us check if you got it right. Which option did you use in this one? Alright, let us use the option B. Wherein we are gonna look for the prime factors of the numbers. So of course, we have to put 1 as our denominator as we rename our whole number. So the prime numbers or the prime factors of 5 are 1 and 5. How about 15? 3 and 5. And then for 6, we have 2 and 3. And then our 1 can be simply 1 or 1 times 1. So in this case, we may just simply put 1. So we will just get the same answer, whichever it is. So, merong 1, let us cancel it. Is there any 5? Yes. How about 2? None. Is there any 3? Yes. Is there any number left? Yes. Sa ating numerator, we got 2. And wala tayong denominator, right? So, ibig sabihin, 1 lang din yung sa denominator if that's the case. So, for example, ang ginawa nyo ay 1 times 1 here. So, may natirang 1. So, this one will be 1, right? Pero, you need to simplify it by simply canceling the 1 or the denominator. Kasi it is 1 nga. And the answer will be 2. Same lang din, right? So, whether you put 1 times 1 or only 1, the answer will just be the same. Alright? Did you get 2 as your answer? Amazing. Next one. Here, as you can see, are 3 fractions. So, you have 3 factors. Come on and write it down in your papers. You can see your timer on your screen, and that timer starts now. Kahit na tatlo sila, anything above, pwede i-cancel sa anything below. $30 seconds. $15. 5. Time's up, and your answer is? Alright, let us check. So here, let us use the option A. So wherein we are just gonna look for the common factor. So, meron bang pwede i-cancel sa 5? Anything below? Yes. 10. 5 and 10 are both divisible by 5. So, ganito yan. Kung nahihirapan kayo, pwedeng ganito yung gawin nyo. Ang 5 at 6 ba? Pwede. Wala po silang common factor. Ang 5 and 3, meron po ba silang common factor? None. How about 5 and 10? Yes, meron. So, and that is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. So, let us now proceed to the next numerator, and that is 2. So, meron po ba silang common factor ni 6? Yes, meron po. And that is 2. So, both are divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is? How many 2 do we have in 6? 3, correct. And then, let us now proceed to the next one, which is 1. Since it is 1, so let us just skip it because we will just get the same answer. So if you wanna solve it, here is how it goes. Pwede ba si 1 sa 3? Pwede. Pwede sa 3? Pwede. Pwede sa 2? Pwede. And that is only 1. So 1 lang din yung magiging sagot dito. Kasi 1 divided by 1 is 1 kapag kinancel natin sila. So to make it easier, just skip kapag 1. Skip nyo na lang. So, meron pa ba? Wala na po. So let us multiply them. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 will get 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 2, 18. Bakit po hindi natin kinancel si 3? Parehas naman silang 3. Yes, hindi po pwede kasi parehas po silang denominator. Pwede lang po natin sila i-cancel kapag ang isa ay nasa numerator and then ang isa ay nasa denominator. Kapag parehas sila ng position, bawal pong i-cancel. Don't forget. So, are we done? Yes, we are because we got 1 already. So, meaning this one is a simplified fraction. So, 5/6 of 2/3 of 1/10 is 1/18. Is your answer correct? Very good. So, here is our last item for our practice. Write it on your paper and then solve for the product. Your time starts now. Any option that you will use, you will just get the same answer. So don't forget na kung saan mas madali sa'yo, you may use that. $30. $15. $3. Time's up. Let me hear your answer. Okay, let us check. Let us use the option B. So 2. What are the prime factors of 2? We have 1 times 2. And then the prime factors of 9 are 3 times 3. The prime factors of 6 are 2 times 3. What are the prime factors of 8? Yes. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 will get 8. And then for our last fraction, we have 2/3. So 1 times 2 and 1 times 3. So let us cancel. Merong 1. Yes. Merong 2. Again, kung ilan yung number, yun lang din ang ika-cancel. Another 2. 3. Merong 1. Wala. 2. Meron pang 2. Okay. Ano yung number na natira sa taas? 1. Number na natira sa baba? We have 2 3s. Alright? So, 3 times 3? 9. So, the answer is 1, 9. Got it right? Very good. Any questions? Clarifications? Alright. Let us now generalize our topic for today. Today, we talk about, that's correct, cancellation method in multiplying fractions. And we have 2 options. The first option is, alright, this is where we are gonna look for the common factor and then just simply cancel those. And then after cancellation, we will multiply them. How about the second option? Amazing. If in first option, we look for the common factor, in our second option, we look for the prime factors of the numbers. And then we will just simply cancel the common numbers between the numerators and the denominators. Is everything clear? Alright. Don't forget that Teacher Dai is always ready to help you, even virtually. For our daily work number 5, Use cancellation in finding the product of the given fractions. Again, you are not allowed to use the traditional method. Or you may use the traditional method for checking purposes. But on your book, you have to use the cancellation method. And of course, reduce the answer to its lowest term. This is the letter D in activity 2 on page 85 of your math book. Number 1 to 10 should be answered out for you to be able to get the perfect score, which is 10. Alright? So that's all for today, class. I hope that we were able to nourish that learnings of yours with regards to cancellation in multiplying fractions. Have a great day ahead. Bye!